Troubleshooting the WorldPay API requires a systematic approach to identify and resolve issues. Start by reviewing the WorldPay API documentation to ensure you have the correct API keys, credentials, and endpoint URLs. Verify that your API requests are properly formatted and include all required parameters. Next, check the API response codes to determine the nature of the issue. WorldPay API uses standard HTTP response codes, such as 200 for success, 400 for bad requests, and 500 for internal server errors. Analyze the response body for error messages or codes that can help you diagnose the problem. Common issues with the WorldPay API include authentication errors, invalid request data, and payment method restrictions. To troubleshoot authentication errors, verify that your API keys and credentials are correct and properly configured. For invalid request data, check that your request payload is correctly formatted and includes all required fields. When dealing with payment method restrictions, ensure that the payment method you are using is supported by WorldPay and that the customer's payment details are valid. You can use the WorldPay API sandbox environment to test your integration and identify issues before going live. To further assist with troubleshooting, WorldPay provides a range of tools and resources, including API logs, error codes, and a developer community forum. By using these resources and following a systematic approach to troubleshooting, you can quickly identify and resolve issues with the WorldPay API and ensure a smooth payment processing experience for your customers. Best practices for troubleshooting the WorldPay API include testing your integration thoroughly, monitoring API logs and error codes, and staying up to date with the latest API documentation and releases. By following these best practices and using the troubleshooting techniques outlined in this guide, you can minimize downtime and ensure a reliable payment processing experience for your customers.